Hey guys, it is another, Lord, I'm tired. I do apologize. It's another envelope stuffing video. I know I put one up last week. I went on Reddit with my binder, specifically this page, and I got a ton of questions. So we're going to go ahead and do my envelope stuffing. It's super duper late. I'm really tired, but we're going to do my envelope stuffing. And I'm going to answer some of the questions I got from Reddit. A lot of people are very curious about the money envelope system. I'm going to be honest with you. My money envelope system is not perfect. I started doing this just a few months ago, and I'm really still working on it, honestly. There's a few things I need to tweak to make sure that it is a good system for me. So what I'm doing right now may not be what I end up doing like long term. I don't know. As I said, I'm still working on making sure this is a system that works. The reason I do money envelopes is because I am not in control of my spending. Which is like the lamest answer possibly ever. But I'm not. I'm really a very bad spender. I tend to hemorrhage funds. And I've done that for years, to be honest. It's not a good look. This is my current system. It is not perfect. I am making tweaks, but I'll explain to you what I'm doing, why I'm doing it. So if you have questions, you can always ask them. Sorry, I'm trying to stop sneezing. And you can also kind of, just as I said, see what I'm doing. So one of the questions I got most often, because I put up a photo, honestly, on my Reddit. And if you want to follow me on Reddit, my name is way too old to be here, because let's be honest. So I'm putting 60 in my grocery envelope. I do have a little money left over from last week. I think it's like $4, so now I have 64 in there. Anyway, so my name is way too old to be here, because honestly, I put up this page. And I put up the money envelope system, that I'm doing the money envelope system. And it, as I said, it got a ton of questions. The main question I got was people asking me, if you're using cash, how do you pay your bills? Why don't you open multiple bank accounts and just transfer the money? Those are very different questions. So first and foremost, using cash, I pay my bills just like everyone else pays their bills. Oops, sorry. As a non-responsible adult, I will take the money, as you see, everything's going in envelopes, and I will deposit it in my bill pay bank account, and I auto pay literally everything. Like, I do not actively pay any of my bills. Sorry, I'm like flipping back to make sure. Wow, I really do only have $5 going to gifts this week. Sorry about the snottingness. I don't actually pay any of my bills. So I auto pay everything, and everything goes into my bank account. So it can get kind of confusing if you're, trying to balance too many numbers of what's going in versus what's coming out versus what's supposed to be where. So I'm trying to make a system that is simple for myself, because this shouldn't be something that, if it gets too complicated, I won't do it, essentially. Like, I've done the budgeting apps, and we'll talk more about this later. But, if things get too complicated, I don't do them. That's just point blank period. So I'm trying to make sure that this is a simple system that I will keep up with. One thing I do like about it so far is I like being able to touch everything. I like being able to touch the money, which is such a weird thing to say, but I like being able to touch the money. I like being able to see, where things are going and where things are coming from and what I need. Anyway, so that's how I pay my bills. I keep my envelopes So I stuff my envelopes. My envelopes get funded the week before a bill is due. And on Monday, ideally, is what I'd like to start doing is putting the money for the week, the envelope money for the entire week into the bill pay account. That way it can just, auto pay. So that's what I'm working on. Obviously, as I said, this is not a perfect system. It is one that I am working with. Another question I got was, why don't you just, use budgeting apps and, do everything electronically? And kind of answered that a second ago. I don't like budgeting. I do not like budgeting apps. The great thing about cash is if for whatever reason I don't keep up with something, it's not a big deal. Like, I can always start over. I found with budgeting apps, I kind of have to try to pick up where I left off and try to remember the transactions I made. So I don't really keep track of my transactions with the cash system. Essentially, once the cash is gone, the cash is gone. Like, there's no more spending. So I just kind of have to be cognizant in the moment and say, do I really need this or do I not? I don't want to have that thing that I constantly, I spent this and I spent this and I spent this, and reconcile the books at the end of the day, because that's just not something that is very interesting to me. And at the same token, like, I prefer not to use my debit card, because the debit card is just like this black hole that leads directly to my bank account. Like, there's just too much money that can be accessed via the debit card. You think? Another one that I got was concerns about my cell bill. So looking at this is just 1 week. This whole page is just 1 week. This is not my entire month. In the month of December, I will get paid every week. Generally speaking, I do get paid every week. That's going to stop soon, as I will not be keeping one of my jobs. But this was last week. This is this week. So if we look at my cell phone bill, you can see that it is $150. So it's a very expensive cell phone bill, and it is just me. And I recognize that it's a very expensive cell phone bill. And a few months ago, I did start taking some measures to lower my bill. So far, I have lowered it from the $150 that it is to about $128. The other day, I did go in and I took the insurance off of the phone because I don't use the insurance. And the insurance on my phone is like a little bit more expensive than the insurance on my entire apartment. So I went ahead and took it off. Honestly, it's not worth it to me. I didn't do anything for entertainment last week. Like, I did not do anything last week. I actually need to start being nice to myself and taking myself to go do stuff. That's why I have an entertainment folder. So I need to make some plans. So I just put 25 in the entertainment folder. I've combined movies and Christmas festivals into one category. Life insurance. So another question I got was, why do I carry life insurance if I do not have children? And I don't have children. I don't have dependents aside from the cats. And, ideally, if something happens to me, I would like my cats to be taken care of, but my family will take care of them. But the reason I carry life insurance is because I am about to own a home. And at the end of the day, I don't want my mother to be saddled with my final bills if something happens to me. Like, I just don't think that's okay. Like, it's adding insult to injury for her, because she'll be burying me. This has gotten morbid so quickly. Anyway, she would be burying me, and then she would have to pay for things. She'd have to pay for my burial. She'd have to make sure my house was okay. She'd have to take care of my stuff. And that can be a really big financial inconvenience. That's not something that I can put on someone else. All right, so for vacation, we're going to do a $10 and $14, 2, 3, 4. The reason that's weird is because, oh God, I've had to move the numbers a lot this week. I did my budget a little earlier than I needed to have done it. Which was silly, but I did it. I don't really care. So I've had to, you can see I've had to cross out, move, make little arrows of where things are going. And if you can see, I still, like, I'm almost to the end of the envelopes and I still have a lot of money right here. One thing I did this week was to keep a good amount of the money in the bank account to pay the bills. So today I got paid, and there's like these little highlighted. This is money that just stayed in the bank account. Like, I didn't pull it out. I just left it in there so it could pay the bills. Versus me pulling it out, putting in cash, and putting it right back. That seemed like a lot of extra steps. So because it was due almost immediately, I decided to just leave it alone. All right, so we got 25 going to savings. And if you look at it, that's my long-term savings. Last week I put away a little bit more. I put away 60 last week. This week we're putting away 25. Yeah. Emergency fund. I did have to dip into my emergency fund already, which is really sad, but it is what it is. It doesn't seem like an emergency to anyone but me, but I did have people come into my apartment the other day, and I had to pay someone to take care of my animals. They are priority number 1, so I had to make sure they were taken care of. All right, so we have appliances. We have $50 going right into that envelope. Please go in. Then we have my mortgage savings. That's $100. So, if we look at the cash that's still on the table, we saw quite a bit left. This is just money that, honestly, I over budgeted. So you can see right here, electricity bill, cell phone bill. My electricity bill only ended up being $49, so I'm over on my electricity bill for the month by almost $80. Cell phone bill, I was over by $22. My car note pretty much stayed in the bank account. Internet bill, same thing, stayed in the bank account. Credit card bill is being paid off. Woohoo! Thank God for paying off. But that pretty much just stayed in the bank account. So with this $12.80, I didn't rejigger the numbers well enough. And now I have money left over. So what do? We don't blow it. That's not what we do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go through some of these envelopes and see where I could use a little bit more money for the future. So I'm going to go ahead and do appliances because that's going to be one that I have to pay for relatively soon after moving. We're going to go ahead and do my savings envelope that I'm going to put a little more money into. Entertainment is fine. Christmas travel is fine. We'll put a little bit more money into car repair. Gas is fine. I still have half a tank. Furniture, moving. And then we're going to do hair and nails because I want nice things for me. Yeah. And then if I have any left over, and this sounds so silly, but groceries. So that's where we're going to go ahead and distribute the money. We're going to figure out what needs to go where. So let's put these off to the side. So let's work with these 3 envelopes first. So furniture. Actually, we're going to do long-term savings first, and we're going to go ahead and put a 50 in. Then that guy is done. Then we have appliances more important than furniture. So I need a new fridge. So we're going to go ahead and put another 50 into my appliances envelope. I believe this leaves us at 150 for appliances, which doesn't seem like a lot because it's not a lot, but it is. We're growing. We're getting there. All right, so next we still have a little cash left. Boop. I really want to go get my nails done tomorrow. It's not responsible, but that's going to be okay. I don't need the extra money toward groceries, and I think, as far as moving goes, I'm going to end up saving quite a bit of money. So we're going to go ahead and actually pull moving over here anyway. So we're going to go ahead and do moving first. 20 bucks into moving. Car repairs, we're going to do a 10. And then hair and nails, I'm going to put an additional 7. So that's where we are. I don't know what the totals are for any of the envelopes. I don't know what the totals are for any of the envelopes. I do keep them in safe places where I can't access them and neither can anyone else until they are ready to go in. I am going to be putting my car note in. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I'm going to go ahead and put my car note into the bank this weekend because that's going to be pulled out, and then I think I'm good. So I've already paid. So I've got car note, credit card bills paid, cell phone bills paid, electric bills paid. So that's where we are. I hope I explained everything well. If you have any other questions, please feel free to let me know. I do this by myself. Like, my finances are my own. As I said, I do get paid 4 times a month, but my bills are not split evenly over every week, as you can see. So first of the month, we got a ton. Second, not so much. Third, a little bit less. Fourth, even less than that. So if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll talk to y'all next week. Next week, I have a huge paycheck coming from my my third job. I have a huge paycheck coming. So I'm really excited to kind of get that one stuffed into an envelope. Have a great night, guys. Bye.